That's me now in the workshop area with the two storm doors, which have been stripped on both sides with the heat gun. So now I'm going to get them onto the bench and give them any filling that's required, any replacement wood that's required, and a final sand in preparation for priming them, undercoating them and giving them two top coats of black paint. The lower section of the right hand side external storm door, in the lower panel section, the moulding was beginning to work its way loose and was quite proud, so it was just a moisture trap. Luckily there's no damage to the actual moulding itself, so I'll remove the rusted nails which weren't fully attaching it, rebed them and fill in any cracks that remains before priming. Yes, through a combination of chisel work and removing the rusted nails that were in the actual mouldings, because what was happening was the nails were swelling up with rust and splitting it, which was causing it to raise up. So I've also used a bit of rasping and filing of the metal, because some of the nails I actually had to leave in because they were so badly rusted they just snapped, but I've filed them down. But the mouldings are now sitting very, very, very flat, as they should be, and it also all lines up, so I'll be able to glue them in rather than hammer them in with nails. This had obviously detached at some point and there'd been two extra nails put in, but it's actually made it worse because it's swollen and split the wood a bit more. But I shall glue them in and also use an epoxy filler just to fill in any little small cracks before priming. But yeah, I'm very pleased with that job. GoPro. I'll just hold this in place with a piece of scrap wood. Just put some pressure on it while the glue sets. Where's the other clamp? tighten these up. GoPro, stop recording. Tighten these with any excess glue. And now it's time to go and put the kettle on and do some other task while this glue dries. Wanting to keep as much original as possible for both the door and the lock mechanism, there was no key associated with the lock. Now this lock is probably Victorian, and considering the house is, you know, over 225 years old, it would have originally been a wooden lock mechanism. But I had an expert manufacturer, a locksmith, manufacture me a key which now fits, and I can lock the mechanism, but it's not quite there because although the key moves the mortise back and forward, if I take this apart, you'll see that there's actually a missing lever as well. So I've been given a similar lever, but it's not quite the size. So what the lever does is when the mortise moves in and out to lock, it locks it in that position, and it would have been controlled by a spring. What I'm thinking of doing is manufacturing it out of steel, and the gravity alone, I'll make a chunkier one that will lock the position when the mortise is engaged or retracted, and it means that the key will always fit in and be able to open and close the lock, which is obviously important. But yeah, the mechanism is now working again, and I have a working key, which is fantastic, because, as I say, I want to maintain as much of the character of the house and the original pieces, try and conserve and restore them. I'm absolutely delighted with my new key that's been manufactured, hand built, made of steel. It works just a treat. So when I reconstruct and rebuild the door, I'm going to return it to its originality, the original colour, because the white is not original. You can see the original black that was there. Plus, also when I was stripping the door, the colour was black originally. So I'll be returning it all to black, which will be lovely, particularly when I have a new brass knob, the same as the knob that currently is on it. It'll just look fantastic. So yeah, very pleased with how this conservation of the door and restoration of the door is going. It's fantastic. It's beginning to take shape. The lower panel on the left hand side storm door below the letterbox has taken more moisture on board, obviously, and it has more serious decay. However, it's completely retrievable. I've removed any significant decay, and I'll use chemical wood hardener to harden the wood that's there. And then with the pieces that I've salvaged, I can piece it back together to maintain the profile, and then any missing parts will be completed with epoxy resin, which will be very, very strong and water resistant. And once it's had the coats of primer, undercoat and top coat, it will be as good as new. And all the mouldings are sitting flush now. I've removed any rusted nails as well, so they can be seated properly, and then the filling can just take up any gaps in the moulding. I'll show you here where I've done a repair with a replacement piece of wood. Basically, this is a lower panel, and the water was obviously penetrating below the moulding, so it was actually rotten along here. So this has all been removed, and there's been a new piece of wood section put in here, and then any gaps has been filled with the filler. So it means when I come to put my trim back, the trim can be slotted in like so, and as you see, it's a perfect straight edge and fit. It needs sanded down, but that's how repairing with a new piece of wood fits into the structure. That's the restoration of the woodwork completed for the storm doors, both left and right, upper and lower panels, and the moulding's been restored to the correct profile, and it's seated properly as well. So it's all ready just to be primed, which is why you need to watch my next video, which will show you the painting process of restoring the doors.